Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Portal Masters of all ages. I'm just finishing up playing some with my Robo Sensei figure. I went into the Shelmont Shores and got his Sky Chi, and I'm done playing with him, but it's time for me to make another RE-MAGINATOR. So I'm going to go ahead and take him off the portal for a second, and as the thumbnail suggests, we're going to be making Ryuk. Now, Ryuk is a death demon.
Welcome to the Creation Crystal, Portal Master.
Okay, I was just corrected. He's a death god. And he's from the anime Death Note. And many of you may or may not be familiar with Death Note, but it is an anime. It was dubbed into English, so it is possible for you to go in and watch it. I think it's actually up on Netflix now, if I'm not mistaken. But Netflix just recently made an American live-action version of this anime. Now, it's controversial because a lot of people who are fans of the anime do not like the live-action movie. And I can see where, because they really very loosely follow the premise, but all of the story and everything that happens, none of it really is the same that's in the anime. They take the general premise of the storyline, and that's all they stick to, but everything else seems to have changed. And so, of course, as with all fandom, they're usually against it, so to speak. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Death Note, then I would suggest you watch the movie first, then go and watch the anime, or read the manga. And then you'll probably agree afterwards, but at least that way you're not disappointed by the movie. It kind of introduces you to the idea, and then you see the full story, the way everything actually unfolds in the anime. And I do agree it's a much better story overall. But of course, you're talking about they had to cram a whole season's worth of storyline into one movie, an hour-and-a-half long movie or so. So I can get that. But Ryuk was a really interesting character, and so you can see by the thumbnail that we used with the video that Ryuk is a pretty scary-looking dude. And although we weren't able to replicate him exactly, me and my daughter played a little game. And let me see here. First of all, let me go ahead and make him. I'm going to make him a sorcerer because he does fly around. There we go. There's sorcerer. So I'm going to create him as a sorcerer, and we'll create that. But as I was saying, my daughter and I were playing a little game on with our creator apps to see who could come up with a better version of Ryuk. And she won. Hers looked better than mine did, and so I had said whichever version looks better, that's the one I'll use in making a RE-MAGINATOR video. And so I have to give credit where credit is due. Scrollwriter is the one that came up with this version of Ryuk that I'm about to make. But before I can make him, I have to disappear for a second, level him up to level 6, and then come back and we'll go ahead and get Ryuk made. So blink right now. Alright, so there we go. We are leveled up to level 6, and I can go ahead and get into making Ryuk here. So I've got a little picture of him off to the side so you can see as I build this. And overall, it does look like Ryuk when it's done, mainly from a distance in the game, not necessarily up close, but again, a lot of my RE-MAGINATORs are kind of like that. Okay, so for the body and the head that really gets us the closest, although it's still not quite as evil looking. I'm trying to remember the name of the head, but I'm just going to have to search for it. There we go, right there. And I'm not sure it's going to end up working because of that flame style to it, but we'll see. In the creator app, which is where we always make the RE-MAGINATORs first, just to try to get them as close as possible, the animations like in that hair right there don't work in the creator app, unfortunately. So this may or may not work once we get it colored up, but we'll take a look. So as far as the eyes go, Scrollwriter picked pupil eyes, and for the ears we just went with, and this was kind of a collaborative part here, just the normal rounded ears. And the chest, I think we had both picked, when we had put this together, the scarecrow chest. Let's see if I can find it. My eyes scan over this stuff and it moves so fast, it's like, wait a minute, where'd it go? There we go, right there.
Perfect.
And then on arms, this was a deviation that I put on it, but I used the Fire Dancer arms or something like that. Let's see. Because once it's all colored up, it works right there.
Yeah.
And then legs. I think it was the Shield Maiden legs, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what it's called? Let's go down to the very bottom. No, not there. There it goes.
Yes.
Alright. And then no tail. But we did, let's see, weapon, we both had chosen the same thing, which is this Deathclaw staff. That really worked. And then as far as the gear, there was no headgear, but we did have a backpack, which was the feathered, let's see, was this one? No, that's the golden wings. It was the feathered wings.
All right.
And let's see, no leg guards, but there were some shoulder guards. And the shoulder guards were, let's see. I think so. There we go, right there.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so that doesn't look anything like our Ryuk yet, but most of the magic comes in the sizing and the color. So for size, we've got the height pretty much cranked all the way because he's a really big dude. And then for the head, that's going to come, let's see, almost all the way down, but not quite. Upper body, one click down. Muscles were almost all the way up, and lower body was all the way up. And with the sorcerers, you really kind of have to make the muscles in the lower body much bigger than you would normally, because just for some reason the game itself, because they float and don't walk around, they give them small legs to begin with. So anyhow, that is pretty much it. So let's see here. Okay, about right there. Yeah, the reason I don't take them all the way down, because then it basically just makes them look, the feet stay too big, and then this kind of gives it some semblance of what's going on. You know, see, like if I take it all the way down, that just kind of looks goofy. So let's go, let's say about midway, and we'll make that work. Alright, and then color. Let's see, for the head, we have, I'm going to go ahead and do what I normally do in the videos, is I'm going to kind of speed through the coloring and let you just kind of watch as it takes shape, and you can tell me if it starts to look more and more like our reference picture here, okay? Alright, so that's pretty much what we got from a coloring point of view. As I thought with the hair, you can kind of see the animation going on, and it doesn't make his hair just black like it really should be. But, you know, the style and the shape and stuff like that, it's pretty close. So we're going to go ahead and go with this. And again, Skylanders RE-MAGINators is reimagining a character, so they may not be exactly, but this is what he might look like if he had been designed or built into the Skylanders game to begin with. So let's go back a little bit. We are going to give him an aura, which we don't do very often, but this aura really worked, having the ghosts and the undead, and he does have kind of like a purple casting to him sometimes in the game, I mean in the movie and in the anime. So we're going to stick with that. I think it adds a little bit, especially to him in the game here too. So I think that's it as far as his look goes. Now, for the powers, I did actually choose one specifically, the Soul Stealer, because that's kind of like him taking their life and so forth. And of course, we can say that it takes his soul as well. So that's kind of a great undead element power for everything else. Now, personality, name, we got to basically rename him as Ryuk. And interesting spelling. Basically, it's R-Y, if I'm doing this right, UK. And there was a joke in the movie, I think it might have been in the anime as well, where Light, which is the main character, threatens to put Ryuk's name down in this book, which would in fact kill him, Ryuk. But Ryuk said that, one, most people didn't know how to spell his name, but two, there was only four letters in his name, and the closest anybody's ever gotten was 2 letters, which means that he killed them before they got around to it. So, anyway, again, interesting. Don't want to give away too much of the story. I want you to watch it and enjoy it. But let's see if I've got a voice going on. I think I did mess with the voice with this one. And the closest I could find was basically the pirate. And then I went with, let me see. Nightmare was good, but I think I chose the evil. There we go, there's evil. And then fueled by... There we go.
Fueled by evil.
There we go. Fueled by evil. We'll stick with that. And as far as music and stuff, no music, but I did use the haunted effect down here at the end because that was semi-appropriate. And that's pretty much it. So this is Ryuk down in the Skylander game. So what do you think? What do we have here? Do we get somewhere close to it at least? Kind of overall. The face is too nice, too sweet looking, I guess. Too pretty. Feminine is a good way to describe it for Ryuk, but it definitely gets the overall casting. Let's see what he does in the way of battling on a surprise attack.
Do your worst, scallywag.
I think my favorite here is going to be the Soul Stealer. Watch this, because as I hit the Soul Stealer and it kills them, it basically takes away their life force or their soul and gives it to your character.
Don't know who'll be saying that, but he's dead right, says I.
Alright, so it's kind of a Ryuk battling.
Had a chest full of gear you might be interested in.
New smasher weapon. Oh yeah.
Alright, so there is our Ryuk. And again, people, for those who haven't seen the Death Note, again, it's really it's an interesting premise. But check it out on Netflix. Let's see, what else do I have to do here? I think I also have to do the chirp.
Eh?
We'll share on Creator app. And after that, and as I started to say, after that, I think that pretty much does our video. So there's our Ryuk. You can see him once again next to our reference photo, and I think that's about it. Anything else I want to do? Oh yeah, let me show you this real quick. I did make this card from the Creator app, and so this is what it looks like as the card. I thought that was pretty neat, and so kind of see how the tie together of the what it may look like when we designed it the first time and what it turned out like now. But oh, that's pretty cool. He's like doing a little squat. Pretty cool. Alright guys, well this is Brian Lander with PortalPowerTV. I appreciate you hanging out, watching this video, and let me know in the comments below some other characters you might like to see me make, the ones that I haven't already made. And by all means, if you've missed a lot, I've made literally over 113, actually now 114 Imaginator videos. And so go back through my library of videos that I've watched and start watching some of them. There's actually a lot of playlists which have different Imaginators in it. I actually have one video playlist that has, I think, all 114 videos in it. So you can kind of start at the beginning and just kind of watch until you get tired and come back and watch some more later on. Again, this is Brian Lander with PortalPowerTV signing off. Take care and God bless.